Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti. Hoping you guys are having a great day. And above all else, that you're indeed looking after yourselves and one another. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to a special two-part episode of Ranking the Albums. And we're going to be looking at the albums of Barenaked Ladies. Now, last week I did an episode with Kent Shire called Made in Canada, where we looked back at the Barenaked Ladies debut release, Gordon. We had such a fantastic time doing that episode that I thought I should take a look at the catalog of Bare Naked Ladies and do an album ranking for you. Now, Bare Naked Ladies over the years have released 18 albums in total, 14 of which are of original material. Now, they have released Christmas compilation albums, Hanukkah compilation albums, a collaboration album, and such. But I wanted to focus on my ranking, sorry, on their 14 albums of original material. Now, I'm going to be doing this in two parts. Part one will be albums 14 to 8, and part two, I'll be looking at albums 7 to 1 to make it easier for me to do and for you to take in. Now, just a bit about Bare Naked Ladies. Bare Naked Ladies started out as a duo consisting of Stephen Page and Ed Robertson, both on lead vocals and guitar. They have known each other since grade school. They were both in a music program, which was basically called the Gifted program. They reconnected in the 80s after meeting up at a Peter Gabriel concert and decided to form a duo together. And they would soon be joined by two brothers, Jim and Andy Cregan, on bass and keyboards, piano, accordion, respectively. And also in 1990, they would be joined by Tyler Stewart on on drums, percussion, and background vocals. Now, what makes Bare Naked Ladies, aside from their names, so unique is that they pretty much did this in terms of touring. And getting recognition and attention. They did it pretty much old school. They would tour wherever they could. They would sing wherever and whenever they could. There's a famous story of them doing a audition video for a show called Speaker's Corner on City TV in Toronto, Channel 7. And Speaker's Corner was a video booth that was located at the corner of Queen and John Streets in Toronto. And they basically went in, paid $1, and they did a demo tape, video demo tape of a song called Be My Yoko Ono. And that got the attention of the people at Much Music and called them in to talk to them about their musical aspirations, etc. Now, they also released, prior to their major label release on Reprise Records, they released 5 demo tapes, one of which was dubbed the Yellow Tape. And the Yellow Tape, which contained much of the music that would appear on Gordon, would achieve eventually platinum status in Canada, selling 100,000 copies, which is saying a lot and selling a lot. Now, they would also appear on a compilation album, a tribute compilation album for Bruce Cockburn, performing a version of his track Lovers in a Dangerous Time. That version of Lovers in a Dangerous Time would achieve number 16 placement on the Canadian singles chart. And it basically garnered them a lot of attention. This was prior to the major label release of Gordon on Reprise and Sire Records. And I guess you could say the rest is history now. The band has gone through two major lineup changes. Andy Cregan would leave in 1995 after the release and promotion of their sophomore album, Maybe You Should Drive. And uh, in would come Kevin Hearn, a keyboardist, multi-instrumentalist. And in 2008, founding member Stephen Page would leave the band amicably, um, and they would carry on as a four-piece. Now, the band have reunited in 2018 on the Juno Awards. Now, the Junos, for those of you out there who don't know, are basically the Canadian equivalent to the Grammy Awards. And they appeared one time as a one-off performance, and people loved it. Now, what makes Bare Naked Ladies so unique is that musically they are stupendous in terms of their musicality, their musicianship, their ability to cross genres and to mix and blend and blur the lines when it comes to genre defining music. They were listed originally as alternative rock, comedy rock, alt pop. Uh, my question is, to quote Billy Joel Armstrong from Green Day, alternative to what? I mean, these days the lines are so blurred you can't really tell. Okay, so but they are simply fantastic. Again, I'm going to be focusing my ranking on the 14 original studio releases. And in part one, we're going to start off at number 14 with their most recent release, In Flight. Released September 15th, 2023, recorded from March to May of 2023, produced by Eric Ratz, released on an independent label, Raisin Records, Raisin with the apostrophe at the end. This is an album of introspection, of reflection, mature pop songs, uh, beautifully done, melodic as all get out. Songs of note for this album are Love and Life, the lead-off single, really up-tempo piece, great harmonies, really melodic, and a great use of Farfisa synths on this track. They've been using the Farfisa synth patches or passages on most of their songs. Now, when I say, in terms of giving you a reference for the sound of a Farfisa synth, if you listen to Elvis Costello and the Attractions and the song Radio Radio, that's a Farfisa synth. Again, with Loving Life, catchy chorus, nice guitar passages. Um, Now, I'm not going to go through every song on every album because most of their albums contain 12 to 14 songs, and it's a lot of music to go through. I will go through two or three songs through every album that I believe that you should listen to. Another song of note is another single from the album, One Night, catchy melody, great group vocals, great measured acoustic guitar passage that comes in, and great vocal on this piece. Um, and I like the fact that the drums are very prominent in the mix. Uh, I do like Tyler Stewart's drum work on their albums. He's a fantastic drummer, although he plays in a very subtle way, not flashy, I would say, and I don't mean that in a bad way. But he's a fantastic drummer. Another song of note on this album is "I Am Asking You To," and this is lead singer Ed Robertson's discussion with his wife and apologizing to his wife for being away for so long, going on tour with the band over the years. At 4 minutes and 40 seconds, this is a beautiful track, beautifully interwoven acoustic guitar and use of cello, nice, good electric guitar note flourishes, uh, beautiful melody, and a great mid-tempo pace on this track. It's amazing. It's heart-wrenching because he's basically saying, I'm sorry for what I've done, and you've been so patient with me. I know I've missed a lot, and I'm very sorry for that. That's number 14. As I go through the list, coming in at number 13, we have Detour de Force, released July 16th of 2021, produced by, again, Eric Ratz and Mark Howard. Uh, Recorded on two set of recording sessions from February to March of 2020, and again through June to August of 2020. Now, as you saw from the album artwork that I put up, it basically paints an alternative reality where you have people cycling around the ring of Saturn and you have cars floating in outer space. Great album, great album. Again, these two albums, In Flight and Detour de Force basically are an albums of introspection and reflection. Again, the album Detour de Force has a playing time of 55 minutes and 40 seconds. Songs of note are the lead-off single Flip, use of treated drums on this track, great acoustic guitar, catchy chorus, subtle piano use on this track, and is very percussive and very rhythmic in terms of the backing track. Just beautifully done. Other songs of note are Good Life, catchy melody, again, use of treated drums, catchy piano pattern on this, and there is a mock rap section on this track. Ed Robertson is a major fan of hip hop and Canadian hip hop, so you're gonna get those references of hip hop from him on these albums. Nice use of accordion, and they do use drum loops on this track. It's a great album. Again, and like the previous album, it is an album of introspection, of reflection, just beautifully done and done with amazing harmonies and catchy melodies in terms of the songs. That's number 13. Coming in at number 12, we have, as I look at my notes here, uh, Fake Nudes, catchy name for an album from a band named Barenaked Ladies. Fake News was released on 17th of November 2017 with a playing time of 48 minutes and 56 seconds, recorded between January to February 2017, produced by Gavin Brown. Gavin Brown, as a producer, would work with other bands such as The Tea Party in 2004 for their album Seven Circles. This album was released on Vanguard Records. Now, I do believe they signed a deal with Vanguard Records, an independent label, to release 3 albums. Um, Fake News as an album, along with their debut release, Gordon, is pretty much dripping with Canadian references. Their lead-off single for the album, Canada Dry, at 3 minutes and at 9 seconds. Sorry, uh, great um, acoustic guitar on this track. Great snare drum sound from Tyler Stewart. Nice gentle piano, subtle use of organ, catchy melody and chorus, and there are Canadian references all the way through this song, references to Tom Cochrane, Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, and Jim Cuddy of Blue Rodeo also does background vocals on this track. Now, again, this is also an album of introspection, reflection, just basically enjoying the time you have with your family and friends and enjoying what you've accomplished so far. I do need to sit more with this album. And again, just because these albums are listed lower down on the list doesn't mean that they're bad albums. It's just, uh, again, I need to sit more with these albums. If I do the ranking another time, these albums may go higher up on the list. But fantastic album overall. Again, great catchy melodies and choruses on these tracks. Ed Robertson, in terms of writing a catchy song, in terms of a hit, he has no issue with that whatsoever. Uh, that's number 12. Coming in at number 11, we have Silver Ball, a release 2nd of June 2015, recorded from December of 2014 to February of 2015. And amazing. Again, has a playing time of 45 minutes and 10 seconds. Uh, Produced by Gavin Brown, another release for Vanguard Records. Uh, Pop Confection is what I would call this album. Songs of note are Get Back Up at 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Great rhythm, fantastic guitar, strong bass on this track, catchy chorus, and very bottom heavy in terms of the bass. And on the outro, Kevin Hearn does what I would call quirky piano chords, kind of like off uh, out of tune piano chords, but fantastic. Other songs of note are the lead off, the title track, I should say, sorry, and other songs like Here Before with at 3 minutes and 55 seconds has a stomping drum pattern, heavy rhythm guitar and heavy guitar chords on this, nice piano passages, and is a very much anthemic in terms of its message and arrangement. Just beautifully done. Other songs of note are Hold My Hand. Again, very rhythmic, great guitar chords, swirling synth passages, and really thick guitar tone. What I like about um, Ed Robertson's guitar work, and I noticed it more after Stephen Page left, he would do more solos on the tracks. Not lengthy solos, but just enough, a little flourish here and there, maybe like 20 seconds of a solo or like 10 seconds, but enough to get your attention, and I think that's just fantastic. Um, it is a great album, and you really should check it out. Coming in at number 10, we have Born on a Pirate Ship, released March 19th, 1996, recorded from April to July of 1995, produced by Barenaked Ladies and Michael Philip Wojowoda. This album has a playing time of 51 minutes and 39 seconds. They would basically pack their albums with a lot of music. Uh, Songs of note are track three, I Know. Great melody, great acoustic guitar passages on this piece. This is where it ends. Great subtle guitar on this piece. Nice melody. Beautiful song. At 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Just great. Other songs of note are in the single The Old Apartment. 3 minutes and 29 seconds with Stephen Page on vocals. Now, this song basically references someone going back to where they used to live and revisiting memories of their, obviously of their past. Uh, and to me, it's basically a song of masked references. Basically the person asking, why did you repaint the walls? Why did you cover up the memories that we had here? And to my understanding, the memories were not all that great, and it's a fantastic heavy guitar chords on that track, heavy drumming from Tyler Stewart, but it's a fantastic album. Now, two songs on this album were recorded for their previous album called Maybe You Should Drive, and one of them is called Same Thing, and again, fantastic track. The final track, track 14, called Shoebox, would end up on the Friends soundtrack. So at this point in 96, they were slowly gaining attention uh, in the US with appearing on soundtracks, etc. But it wouldn't be until 1998 when they would make their major breakthrough in the US. So that's number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have Bare Naked Ladies Are Men, released February 6th of '07. This is the second part of a two-part album set that came out a year apart, um, and has a playing time of 60 minutes and 11 seconds. So 16 tracks on this album, very long. Recorded from October of '05 to April of '06. Produced by Bare Naked Ladies, released on the independent label Desperation, which I do believe is their label. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe is that is the case. Now, at this point, they opted to leave Reprise Records after the release of Everything to Everyone, and opted to go the independent route. And they've never regretted that decision. This is a companion album to Bare Naked Ladies Are Me, which was released uh, a short time before. And there is a deluxe version of both albums being available in one album set. This album, Bare Naked Ladies Are Men, it's a good album. The lead off single, Serendipity, 4 minutes and 12 seconds, great snare drum sound, and really strong bass on this track. Other songs of note are Something You'll Never Find at 4 minutes and 57 seconds. Great power chords, nice use of organ, nice trumpet, great melody, and again, nice use of sorry, organ, and a great guitar passage on the outro on this piece. Uh, Good album, a long album. I need to sit with it again some more, but there was a review of this album at the time of release that basically said that this album is okay, but it's largely forgettable. I don't agree, but it's a lot more heavier in terms of using heavier guitar chords than the previous release of Bare Naked Ladies or Me. But I'll get into that soon. So that's number nine. Coming in at number eight, we have an ending of part one of ranking the albums. We have All in Good Time, released 23rd of March 2010, recorded from the 19th of May to the 24th of July of 2009. And if I didn't say this before, I'll say it now. Bare Naked Ladies are known for recording albums in a short period of time, 2 to 3 months at the most. And that says a lot, in this day and age. The album was produced by longtime producer Michael Philip Wojowoda, and it's, I would say, an album of them dealing with the recent departure of founding member Stephen Page. Again, they had left on amicable terms, but there was still some resentment going on and some, basically, I guess you call it ass biting uh, in the band between the members. Uh, but that's going to happen when you part ways in terms of being in a band. Stephen Page likened it to being in a marriage, and I would agree with that. The lead-off single was called "You Run Away," 4 minutes and 22 seconds, and this is Ed Robertson. I do believe, don't take it to heart, but I do believe that this is Ed Robertson talking to Stephen Page and saying, you're leaving, you won't face us, you won't face me, and talk it out. You'd rather run away. Strong vocal delivery on this, great bass and piano, and fantastic harmonies on this. Other songs I note on the album are Summertime, the second track, strong guitar, great drum sound, sorry, and great mix of rock and R&B. Fantastic melody on this track, and nice soft piano on the ending. You know, just one more song to talk about. And is 4 seconds, track four, 2 minutes and 44 seconds. It's intense. It's a ska tinged track. Great use of vocals on this. Great vocal delivery. Sorry from Ed Robertson. Great bass, catchy hook, great harmonies, and it does feature uh, Tyler Stewart on. I guess you call it co-lead vocals. He does, I guess you call it a tagline. Um, at the end of the verses. But it is amazing. What I like about Bare Naked Ladies is the fact that they go all over the place in terms of their genre, in terms of music they want to do. Like I said, they blend and blur the lines in terms of what genre they're playing in. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Part one of ranking the albums of Bare Naked Ladies, numbers 18, I was going to say 18, 14 to 8, forgive me. And I will be back with a part two of ranking the albums of Bare Naked Ladies, going from album 7 to 1. So please stay tuned for that. Please click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves on top of any new content I've got coming up. And if you know of any of these albums, please put down in the comments below, sorry, your views and comments of these albums. Do you like them? Which ones would you rank above the others? It's just, again, I really do believe that this band should be given more credit and more of a spotlight in the US. I mean, they are successful in the US, but as a fellow Torontonian, I wanted to show my appreciation and my affection for this band. They are simply fan bloody tastic. So again, stay tuned for part two, the conclusion of ranking the albums of Barenaked Ladies coming up next week. And I'll see you then. Bye for now. Take care of what yourselves and one another, and we'll see you soon on the Music Den. Bye for now.